What is going on, everybody? This is S Trades, and in this video I'm going to be doing a trade recap. Today is April 1st, and today was actually a very good trading day for me. We had a lot of good setups, especially for my strategy, and I felt like I really needed to make this trading recap video because you guys could definitely learn a lot from this trading day just today alone. And if you guys are following along with my bootcamp, a lot of the concepts that I already taught are literally perfectly put together in today's trading day. So I was like, I have to just 100% make this trading recap day for you guys. So anyways, let's get straight into the video. Now, we're looking at a higher time frame, right? We were dumping for a good minute, right? And we didn't really have any sort of retracements or anything like that. So I was looking for some sort of longs just because I wanted to see some retracements, but I didn't have a set bias for today because it wasn't really clear. So looking at the morning, right? Let me bring back my drawings. Looking back in the morning, right? We inversed a 4-hour fair value gap right here, right? So this 4-hour got inversed, and this 4-hour got inversed with both of these candles, right? Now again, if you guys are following along with the bootcamp, you guys understand what I'm talking about. If not, you guys could go take a look at my bootcamp videos, especially the ones yesterday about fair value gaps, because a lot of what's happened today was just fully around fair value gaps and liquidity. So, okay, so the two 4-hour fair value gaps got inversed, but then we had a tap into this big daily fair value gap, right? And then we swept previous day's low and we made an SMT with it. Okay, so we made an SMT over here. So pre-market kind of dumped a little bit lower, right? And then looking at market open, right? So we were trading in this 1-hour fair value gap, right? That we made. We respected it the first time. We went up, right? And then we made this SMT, and then we came back lower again to test this 1-hour. And I set a condition that I want to see if this 1-hour is going to get held or not, and if it inverses, then we most likely will run lower to this 1-hourly fair value gap, and if it holds, then I might look into some longs. Okay, so in this scenario, right, we open at 9:30, right, we kind of go up a little higher, and then we just dump, right. I didn't want to really take any trades before 10 o'clock because we had 9:45 news and 10 a.m. news, so and they were pretty high impact. So I was like, okay, let me just wait until 10 a.m. because at this time I didn't have like a set clear bias for the day. So I was like, all right, let me just hold off until 10 a.m. and then just kind of see where price is going. Let price action do its thing and just kind of have a very clear picture of where we're going, right? So in this case, right, we dumped right after news. After news happened, we just went lower, and then we took this Asia low, right? This is a very important liquidity zone, right? I haven't went over specific liquidity zones, right? In this case, this is Asia lows, which is very important, right? And this was an hourly fair value gap, like I said, and we were starting to hold it, right? Because we saw an immediate reaction, right? I was looking at this 5-minute over here, and then we formed a 15-minute, and then we also left the data high, right? So I was like, okay, this is perfect mechanical long. We call it a mechanical long from one of my strategies, right? So this was perfect mechanical. This is exactly what I want to see. We were holding the 1 hour. We swept some major liquidity. I literally have a checklist down here if you want to follow along, right? So we had the higher time frame fair value gap and a sweep. So that's even a bonus, right? We had the unfilled target, which was the 15-minute and the data high, and the highest time frame inversion was the 5-minute over here, and then the time was aligned perfectly because it's 10 o'clock. So you could call this a 10 a.m. open, low, high, close. So anyways, we inverse this 5-minute, right? Now, I didn't enter right away because I kind of pulled a hezi on it. It's like a hesitation, so I was a little hesitant. But then, no, actually, the price ended up closing a little higher than I wanted to. So I wanted to see some sort of a retrace, right? Price ended up going all the way over here, almost tapping the 15-minute. Then we kind of retraced lower, and then I had an opportunity to enter over here. I entered over here, right? And then I accidentally freaking closed my position by pressing the X button while I was trying to adjust my take profit and my stop loss, right? So then I was like, okay, like that's horrendous. Let me actually now. I didn't really miss this move because I was very confident that we're going to go to this data high because it's super obvious, right? So then I was waiting for another retrace back to this zone, right? And I entered over here on this candle, right? Confirmation. I was like I want to see a next candle close above. So we retraced back to this, you could say 1-minute order block, right? I don't really use order blocks like that, but we retraced and then we started seeing a reaction. So I was like, okay, perfect. We're going to most likely go higher. And this was literally like less than a minute trade, and I made like $800 on this trade. So I entered it on this retrace, right? And then I was targeting the data highs, and As you guys can see, this literally happened super fast, but I actually took profit way sooner. I took profit like over here because um, I was passing my eval account and I only needed 800, so I just kind of set my take profit over here, which is like around 800. But my original trade idea was supposed to be on the data high, and this was gonna be like a 80-point banger. So if you guys took this, good shit, keep on going. So this was the first trade, right? So then after this trade, we just kind of went to the moon, right? We just went up without a single retrace, right? So when this kind of thing, so we actually went up like almost 400 points, right? So when this kind of things happen, right, you are bound to see some sort of a retracement back into this, inefficiencies. Now, again, if you guys are following along with the video, right, along with my bootcamp, sorry, literally in yesterday's video, we were talking about how market moves in two ways, right? It either seeks out liquidity or it retraces to inefficiencies, right? Rebalances to inefficiency. So in this case, we took out this major liquidity and then we took out this major liquidity, right? So then I was waiting for what? I was waiting for some sort of a rebalance to some sort of inefficiency, right? So I wasn't going to enter longs anywhere at the top over here because it doesn't really make any sense. I don't want to enter anywhere past discount zones, right? Because, above premium, because it doesn't really make any sense for you to enter a long over here and hope it keeps on going higher, because that's just straight up like gambling. So I was like, I want to enter longs, but only after it retraces to some sort of a PDA rate, like a fair value gap or something like that, or sweeps out a major low. So I was looking actually to short just for a quick scalp back down to the inefficiencies, right? So in this case, we tapped into this daily, and then there was also an hourly fair value gap over here that we tapped into, right? So then I was like, okay, now I want to see some sort of a retracement lower because we left equal lows, right? Which is very, very, very good source of liquidity pool that you could target, right? And then we also had a 30-minute fair value gap, right? So I was like, okay, this actually looks pretty clean. I was really, really looking to enter this trade. The only off thing about this trade was that it was literally lunch session, and I don't really trade around like after 12. So this is the only bad side about this trade. So I would count this trade as like a B plus, A minus maybe, right? So after we tap into this 1 hour, right, we make this 2-minute fair value gap, right? I entered this on my funded account, and I entered a very, very small, tiny position. I was literally risking like $100 because I didn't want to risk a PM trade kind of messing me up. So I entered on this 2-minute inversion because I was looking for this equal lows and this 30-minute rebalance, because we literally just went up without a single retrace. So I was like, okay, we're just bound to see some sort of retracement to like a major PDA, right? So I entered on this 2-minute, and this trade was just freaking flawless. Like, we literally just dumped to the equal lows. As we went to the equal lows, I set my stops to break even. So this was a risk-free trade, and then I let the rest run to the 30-minute, and it just hit beautifully. Like, this trade was so good, even though it was lunch. But man, I just had to take this trade because it looked super clean, right? But then we saw an A plus setup, right? This is like bread and butter. Like, this is what I always want to see. This is something that is so clean that I'll always take any single day, like without any kind of sudden hesitation, right? So we hit the 30-minute, right? Where are we? So we hit the 30-minute, but then we also formed a 1 hour fair value gap below, right? So I was like, okay, let's see kind of what we do over here. So we had the tap to the 1 hour, right? So I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. We tapped the 1 hour. We formed a 15-minute above. So I was like, okay, this is a very mechanical trade again, and I want to enter this trade because it was literally A plus. So we tapped into 1 hour, right? Where our high time frame fair value gap got tapped into. Our unfilled target was the 15-minute fair value gap, right? The highest time frame in this leg was the 1 minute, right? And then the 4 minute was above, which you could have waited for the 4 minute, but the close was literally like at the top, so it was going to be like a negative risk to reward. So I was fine with going in for the 1 minute and then just break even at the 4 minute, just in case if I'm wrong, right? So we entered on this 1 minute, which is a perfect close. Like, you can see, just closed amazing, right? So I entered on that, stops below these wicks, right? And the moment we hit the the moment we hit the 4 minute over here, I just set my stop losses to break even. So now there's a risk-free trade, and the trade just ended up just perfectly smashing the TP 15 minutes. So I didn't want to see anything past that, but I was completely fine with the 15 minutes. So I took full profits over there, and yeah, that is it. Those are the 3 trades that I took for today. It's really, really good. Like, this is like my bread and butter. This is what I always look at in the markets, right? And even now, as you can see, like, we retraced all the way down lower to the 50-minute over down over here, right? And then we also hit the equilibrium. This is just like, extra sauce for you guys, right? And I'll go over this later down in the boot camp, right? So we hit the equilibrium of the range. We had the 60.618 level. We had the 15-minute above. You could also take some of the trades right here. We had like a I wasn't really looking at this time. I was already done for the day. We had a 2-minute that you could have taken, right? And there was a few more setups that happened during the day. So perfect day to illustrate my strategy, right? And I was just like, okay, I just have to make a video about this today and give you guys some extra sauce. So again, if you guys are following along the bootcamp, you guys might be already understanding what I'm talking about fair value gaps, liquidity, and all this sorts of good stuff. So if you guys still don't understand what I'm talking about, rewatch my bootcamp videos, and we have more bootcamp videos coming up later. So if you guys have any questions, comment down below. I'll be more than glad to help you guys out. So yeah, I hope you guys got some sauce out of this trade recap video. And these aren't made to like flex or anything, like look at my strategy working or whatever. No, these are actually made just for you guys to see my thought process behind how I look at the markets, what I trade, how my strategy looks like. Now you guys don't have to understand my strategy in depth yet, because I'm kind of going over it really like broadly, but I'll be going over my full entire strategy by the end of the bootcamp. So if you guys are interested, keep track of the bootcamp, and I'll see you guys in the next video.